All right, here we go.
Okay. So, let's start out standing today. We'll use 2 cord blocks. Come to the middle of the mat. Blocks in front. Face forward sitting. Alright, heel toe your feet really wide. And then your heels should end up a little bit wider than your toes. Lift the outer arch of the foot so the pinky side of the foot lifts off the mat. Good. Try to bend your knees in a little toward each other. Try to notice the front of the hips. Let's line up hands on block so you turn out a little bit. That thumb is totally lined up with the inside of the block. All 3 thumb knuckles on the block. Okay? Lean the body weight forward. Soft pressure down in your hands. Drop your head so you release the neck. Try to shoulder blades wide. Pick ribs up in the shoulder girdle. Good. And then drop it back down. Let your chest drop down into shoulder blades. Good. Push down through hands. Pick the ribs up. Shoulder blades spreading. Lift your low belly. Bend the knees a little bit deeper, dropping your tail under. Okay. From here, unround the spine. Pubic bone back. Hips back. Straighten the legs. Come forward or come to as straight a leg as you can. Drop your chest down into shoulder girdle again. Drop the head. Breathe. Inhale. As you exhale, spread the shoulder blades off the back. Ribs come up into the shoulder girdle, just a little serratus push up. Lift your middle abs. Soft bend in the knees. Keep weight on the outer arch of the foot this time. Try to open and lift the inner foot as you bend the knees. And sit a little deeper into that stretch. You should feel the outer lower legs, outer ankles. Good. Go ahead and re-straighten the legs. Sitting bones back. Drop the ribs down. Take your blocks way out in front of you. And then hips back. Drop your head down. Let your head come through your arms. So a soft bend in your knees to drop the hips. You should feel a stretch in the hips here. Good. Feel that space in low back too? Yes. Good. Breathe. Inhale. As you exhale, try to let your ribs drop a little deeper. Keep weight in your hands. Roll to the inner arch of both feet. And then roll to the outside. The pinky side of the feet, open knees more. Roll to inner feet again, hold. And then bring the body back up. Walk your blocks back. Good. Okay, let's go ahead and walk the blocks over to the left. Good. Turn the toe, or turn the heel in, so your toes are aimed out. Blocks are right inside the foot. You need to turn around and stop playing. Alright, straighten the front leg. Roll your hips open to face me. Good. Bring your front arm up, open the chest into triangle. Good. Roll your bottom shoulder forward. And the top shoulder open to twist. Chin in, breathe. Now roll the bottom shoulder back. Good. Bend the bottom knee, drop down. Bring your hand down straight to the side. Good. Try to keep that knee open back away from you a little bit. Then push through the foot to bring it back up. Try to keep your arms straight sideways. That's it. Bring it back, bending the front knee, drop down. Keep your weight in the outer arch of the back foot. Feel how that helps you open the front of the hip a little more. Push through the front foot to bring it back. Keep your arm level. Reach back with the arm. Do it again, palm facing the floor. Good. Bend through the front knee. Keep your weight in the outer back foot as you bend through the front knee. Dropping the hips a little deeper. Use that bottom arm. Good. And then bring the hips back out from under the ribs. Good. Bring your arm over your head, rounding up. Pick your ribs up, pick your low belly up. This shoulder blade comes down a little. Inhale. As you exhale, bring the arm back. Flatten the bottom side down. That's it. Bend the knee, come into your stretch. Good. Do it again. Bring the hips back. Turn the palm to face up. Bring your arm overhead. Bottom shoulder blade comes down. Picking ribs up out of the hip more. Low belly lifts. Bring the arm back. Palm facing down. Let the side ribs get longer. Bend the bottom knee. Good. Drop the shoulder forward to your block. Blocks frame the foot now. Good. Keep your back foot turned out like this, but roll to the inner arch of the foot, lifting outer foot. So pinky edge of the foot, knife edge of the foot is awake. Good. And then start bending the front knee. Keep the back heel trying to reach past the toes. Good. And then bring it back up. Go straighten the front leg if you can. Drop the chest down into shoulder girdle. Drop your head in line with the spine. Okay, now pick ribs up out of shoulder girdle, spreading the shoulder blades. And then drop the chest back down. Do it again. Inhale, pick ribs up, spread the shoulder blades, suck the low belly up a little. And then draw it back down. Last one. Inhale, bringing it up, let the head drop, tail drop. Exhale, flatten it out. Roll to the inner arch of the back foot. Roll to the pinky side, outer arch of the front foot. Try to roll back hip forward. The other way, back hip forward. There you go. Now roll to the inner arch of the front foot. Roll to the outer arch of the back foot. Feel how that starts opening the hip, just doing that. Then open hips to face me. Good. Roll to the pinky side of the front foot. So your outer spiraling front leg, inner spiral back leg. Roll to the inner foot. Roll your back hip forward. Good. Feel that? Do it again. Roll to the inner arch of the front foot, outer arch of back foot. That starts opening hips. Good. Heel toe your back foot in just a little bit. Shorten your stance just a touch. Good. Stay here. Stay rolled to the inner front foot. Roll to the inner back foot. Okay. Lift onto toes. Roll your back hip forward. Heel ends up facing back. Good. Now roll it back open again. Turn your heel all the way in. Roll your hip open. And then put heel down. Bring toes in a little bit. Re-grab the mat. Don't lose any ground. Come high on the heel, or high on the toes. Roll the back hip forward. Inner spiral the leg, even past parallel. Then roll it back open again. Keep that ball of your foot, the big toe, ball of the foot really holding, then drop the heel down. Activating the foot. Good. Bring toes back so foot's parallel, or even a little more than that. Keep toes a little lifted. Roll on that index knuckle. Turn the hip as far forward as you can. Think about putting the front of the left hip into the front of the back hip into the groin of the front leg. And then roll it back open, pushing with the front foot a little bit. Roll to the inner arch of your front foot as you roll the back heel in. Yeah, feel that? Okay. Bring the toes back in. One more time. Roll to the outer arch of the front foot, just a touch. And then roll the back hip forward, right hip rolling out of the way, or left front hip rolling out of the way. Good. Bend the front knee. Keep the back leg straight and strong. Drop that hip down into your stretch. Good. Push through the front foot to bring the hip back. Dome the upper back, spreading shoulder blades. Use the serratus, the muscles attached to the ribs here. Spread shoulder blades, picking ribs up, drop head, suck your low belly up. The back knee can bend a little if you need it to. Re-straighten the back leg. Bend the front knee. Keep the back hip long as you come down. Very nice. Lower the back knee to the ground. Good. Heel toe the front foot a little to the side if you're not already hip width between the foot and the knee. Keep dropping hips forward into that stretch. That's it. From here, let's bring hands to the front knee or thigh. Push a little into that foot. Feel the foot ground into the mat. Hands push the knee away. Lift your low belly a little bit. And then drop back into your stretch. Front foot should feel like it's pulling the mat back. Back hip drops further forward again. Come forward. Good. Do it again. Push your hands into the front knee. The foot pushing the mat away brings you back a little. Low belly lifts. Tail under a touch. Don't squeeze glutes though. And then drop back forward, letting go of the front of the hip even deeper. Yeah, let it get in there a little further. Okay? Bring the opposite arm that the knee is forward, and then bring it up. Reach as long as you can. Bring the other hand to the back leg. This hand comes around. Lengthen that side further. Keep dropping the back hip forward. And then you're going to twist. Back arm comes to front knee. Hands in prayer. Good. Your back hand pushes into the front hand to help you twist a little deeper. Hips are forward, Tatum. Bring your hips forward. Yep. Can't be back here. Hips forward. Good. Find your breath here. Inhale. As you exhale, stay leaning on that front foot. That's where your balance is. Back hand pushes in the front to twist ribs a little further. Good. You can keep back toes tucked. Maybe you can lift the back knee here, reaching through the back heel. And bring it back down. Good. Hands to your blocks. Come back to the middle. Good. Drop the hips back. Good. Let the heel stay in the mat. Toes can come up. Low belly sucking back. Good. Keep hips reaching back. Pull shoulders back. You can bend elbows a little. Try to flatten the back. Feel a pretty big stretch in the head. Hug that front hip back further. come back forward into the foot. Bring your blocks to second level. Okay, slide the front heel forward away so shoulders are over your hands or a little past your hands. Then reach back for your back leg. Bend the front knee, drop the back hip toward the mat in your split. So, yep, bring the back leg up. Now bend the front knee, drop the back hip toward the mat. There we go. Good. Better. Try to sit deeper into that split, keeping the front leg bent a little bit, putting the back hip toward the floor. Find your breath here. If you have a full split, you can lengthen out into it, but you're trying to square the back hip forward. Okay. Drag the front foot back, put it underneath you. Bring your blocks to third level and come back up. Good. Straighten the front leg if you've got that. Turn your back heel in and down. Your foot's only going to be turned out about 45 degrees here. Good. The heel is flat into the mat. Shorten your stance a little. Front foot back or touch. Forward heel to back foot forward either way. Bring your blocks right under shoulders. Try to straighten the front leg. Bring sitting bones back. Drop chest into the shoulder girdle. Very nice. You're going to twist toward your front leg. So if your left foot's forward, your left arm is going to open up to the ceiling. Good. Keep the back foot down. Don't let the heel lift. And keep reaching from inner back foot all the way up through the core, through the low belly. Roll the shoulder back a little. Good. Reach your arm overhead. Suck the belly up a little bit more. Bring it back up. Drop the arm back, opening the chest. One more time. Bring the arm overhead, ribs up, and then come all the way back down to your block. Square the hips. Bend your front knee. Dropping forward and see if you can bring the chest up. Stand all the way up into your warrior one posture. Keep squaring the back hip forward. So really inner spiral that back leg. You can straighten the front leg if you need to. Inhale, arms up. Low belly lifting, back hip squaring forward. Put a soft bend in the back knee. Straighten the front leg. There you go. Back hip forward more. There we go. Yes. Okay. Bring your arms straight back, straighten the back leg, hinge your body forward, keep the front hip hugging back. And you can bend the front knee if you need to. Try to keep back heel down. And bring hands to your blocks. Come on to toes. Good. And step the front foot back. High plank. Good. Reach heels back toward the mat. Try to bring hips back toward a down dog. And then come all the way forward again. Low belly lifting. Step the same foot through the blocks. Bring your blocks back forward. Adjust the feet so they both face forward. Good. How are we doing? Heels wider than toes. Finding space in the hips there.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Okay. Bring your blocks under the shoulders.
So the reason why I can't bring that back hip forward.
It's because of the tightness in the front of the hip. Yeah. You're not squeezing glute to push the hip forward, were you?
Just trying not to.
Okay, yeah, it's the tightness in the front hip. Squaring hips is hard in that posture.
As always, I'll notice more on this side.
Yeah, this will be good. All right, roll to the inner foot, lifting outer foot. Okay, keep your chest dropped into shoulder girdle. So don't dome and lift and close hips and squeeze glutes and all that. Let yourself release down. Okay, from there, try to bring your left knee forward and down toward the mat, dropping your left hip forward. Keep the other leg pretty straight. Should feel it in the front of the hip a little bit. Bring it back open. Okay, inner arch of the other foot. Try to bring that knee in and down, dropping that hip forward. Keep the other leg pretty straight. It's a little twist in your waist too. And bring it back up. Good, you finding that? One more, lift the outer arch of the left, drop the knee in and down. Bring it back up. One more, lift the outer foot, drop the knee in and down. Good, from here, suck the belly up, lift your ribs a little. And then let that release, bring it back to center. Good. Bring your blocks over to the left, or to the parking lot for us, that side, whatever that side is for you. Turn your heel in. Your blocks are just inside the foot. Good. Okay, try to straighten that front leg, drop your chest into shoulder girdle to start. Good. Roll to the inner arch of the back foot, lift the outer foot. Try to roll your back hip forward, roll into the outer arch of the front foot. Yes. Okay, roll to the inner arch of the front foot, roll to outer back foot, roll the hip open again. Yeah, feel that rolling through hips? One more time. spiral back leg, roll that hip forward. Go the other way, roll to inner front foot, outer back foot, roll it open. Now keep it open. Bring your front arm up, opening chest for triangle. Good. Bring your arm overhead, rounding the bottom side. Shoulder comes down, so this is contracted, obliques. Good, then bring the arm down, let that go. Let your chest drop down into shoulder girdle. Let the bottom sitting bone drop back. More. There, you got it, yeah. Okay. Palm facing up. Good, do it again. Arm overhead, shoulder blade comes down to help you lift, opening the top side. Good, stay long and strong in the back foot. Roll to the inner foot, low belly in. Bring it back down. Let your hips drop back. Let your core elongate. Good. One more time, arm overhead, ribs coming up. The shoulder blade pulls down the side to help pick your ribs up. Good. And then bring it back down. Keep it that way. Keep the palm facing the floor. Bend the front knee, drop the back hip down. Good. And bring it back up. Think of hips coming out from under the rib there. Bend the front knee, keep this arm pretty straight. Good. And then bring back, hips coming back out from under ribs. Last one, bend that front knee, dropping into it. Lift the outer arch of the back foot. Heel further back from toes. And bring it back up. Good. Bring the arm down toward the blocks. Blocks frame the front foot. Bring the front foot back a little bit if you feel like you've got a pretty long stance. Good. Roll to inner arch of the back foot again. Think of inner spiraling back foot, so groin into midline. Think of outer spiraling front foot, so groin away from midline. So roll to outer front foot, inner back foot to bring your back hip forward. Okay? Roll to outer back foot, inner front foot to open the hips up again. Good. Feeling that? Roll to inner arch of back foot, outer arch of front foot, inner spiral back leg, outer spiral front leg to roll forward. And then outer back foot, inner front foot, roll it open. Good. Okay, let's add a little bigger movement. So lift the toes of the back foot, roll to index knuckle of the toe, or index knuckle of the foot. And then you're going to come onto toes, roll the hip all the way forward. So you're literally spiraling through the hip. Good. Roll it all the way open again, grabbing the mat with the foot, bring the heel down, in further than toes, then bring the toes back, re-grab the mat. Okay, push into toes, roll the hip all the way forward. Think of that back frontal hip folding into the front groin. Yep. That's where the front leg outer spirals a little. Now push through front foot, roll the hip back, heel hugging all the way, and then heel comes down. Good, toes come forward. Feel the foot grab the mat. Roll that back hip forward, all the way past the front hip. So come onto the toes high, and then roll it open, heel coming in, and then bring the heel down to the mat. Bring the toes back forward, one more like that. Roll to inner foot, roll all the way forward. Good, hold. Bend the front knee, keep back leg, back hip strong and long. Drop the hip down. Too short a stance. You feel like you had nowhere to go, you were stuck forward. Bring it back up. Good, you can wiggle that foot back a little further. Okay, do it again. Keep the back hip forward, bending the front knee. Start dropping the hips down into your stretch. Let hips drop below the level of the block. Try to keep the back leg fairly straight and strong. Feel toes working. Good, push through front foot to bring hips back. Once you're back here, drop head, pick the ribs up in the shoulder girdle, spreading the upper back. Feel like your shoulder blades are sliding around the sides of the rib cage. Lift your low belly. Keep both feet pushing the mat away. And then drop the chest back down into the shoulder girdle. Let hips drop back. Bend the front knee. Bring it all the way down. Good. How we doing? One more. Push through the front leg. Bring the hips back. Dome the upper back leg. Pushing through thumb side of the hand. Spreading the ribs apart in the back body. Dropping head. Sucking belly up. Then start flattening your spine back out, ribs pulling forward. Bend the front knee back, hips straight and strong. Good. Slowly lower the back knee to the mat. That's it. And then roll over the toes here. Or we can keep them tucked if you sit up out of it. Bring your hands to the front knee. Feel like you're pushing the front foot into the mat or pushing the knee away. And then use that front foot to bring hips back. Lift your low belly a little. No squeezing glutes. And then come back into the front foot. The front foot is the balancing foot. Let your weight come forward like you're pulling back on the mat. So you're more in the front of the foot. Lean into that. Yeah, you feel that? Mm-hmm. Now stay in the front of the foot. Bring the hips back, low belly lifting, push into the hands a little. Come back forward, releasing the back hip down as you come forward, dropping into that front foot deeper. Yeah, feel the difference?
Oh, yes.
Good job, one more time, little pressure in the foot. Feel that foot ground, lift your low belly back. Try to bring shoulders and elbows forward as you suck the belly back. Yep, now drop back down into it deeper. Let the hip release. Nice, good job, okay? The same, or the knee that's back, bring that arm forward. Okay, bring that front arm back for the back leg. Reach longer in that side in your twist. Then bring elbow to knee twisting. Hands in prayer. Twist the other way, Tatum. Twist toward me. You have the other leg forward. Okay, back hand pushes into the front hand to twist. Low belly lifting. Good. Drop your back hip into the twist. Very nice. You want to try to stand? The front toes spread. Back heel reaches back. The hip is still dropping forward. The front shoulder should come a little up and forward. Open the back for now. Then push back hand in the front to lift ribs. Good. Put the back knee back down. Hands back to your blocks. Good. So Tatum, you have your left foot forward. You need your right elbow to come to your left knee. There. That's the twist. Right, and then the right hip drops forward. Good. All right, hands to your blocks. Push through that back leg. Bring it up. Slide the front foot back a little. Shorten your stance a touch. Good. Bring your back heel in and down. Your heels should be lined up on a tightrope for the most advanced. Let's heel toe the front foot a little wider. So heel toe your front foot away so your feet are a little wider apart, like hip width apart. Okay, bring your blocks right under your shoulders. Roll to the inner arch of that back foot, to inner spiral back leg and drop your hip forward. Yeah, you feel that? It's the same thing we always do. Now just roll it open again. Good. Do it again, roll the back hip forward. Okay, bend the front knee and touch. Bring your body up, keeping the back hip forward. That's your warrior one. That's that rolling the hip forward. You feel it?
Mm-hmm.
You good there?
Yes.
Easier on that side? Good. Inhale, arms up.
Up.
No flying, guys, no flying. Bend the front knee. Stay in the inner arch of your back foot for the purpose of inner spiraling the leg. Then find low belly lifting a little bit. Don't sit into the front hip. And bring your arms up, reaching shoulder blades up the side body. And then bring your arms straight back. Try to straighten the front leg. Sitting bones back. Keep dropping the back hip forward. Front hip has to pull back. You put a soft bend in the knee to protect the knee. And bring hands to your blocks. Good. Feel the difference?
Yes.
Good.
I think wider was better too.
Yeah, it's more advanced to be heels on one line because you have to pull that much harder into that spiral. This has to be a lot more mobile in the hips. Okay, let's just go to the other side and check it out on that side. Just because that one's tighter for you. So bring those back to the middle. Bring it back to the other side. Okay, should be the same distance. Shouldn't have changed anything. Now, heel toe the front foot wider so you have the hip distance on this side. Put the back heel down. It's got to stay in the mat. Good. Now, inner spiral back leg. Come to inner arch of the foot. Roll that hip forward. Yeah, feel that?
It's better.
It's better. It's still harder on that side, right?
Just doesn't
Yeah.
want to open.
That's that side. Roll your hip open again. Play with it. Yep. Roll it back forward. Front hip has to be willing to roll back. There you go. Yep. Roll it back open. So front hip rolling back means that leg's going to outer spiral a little. The muscles in the front of the hip roll out of your way as the back hip comes forward. Better. Feel the difference?
I do feel that, yes.
Yeah. So once you're there, then go ahead and bend the front knee. Keep the back hip forward. Yeah. Then bend the front knee. Then see if you can stand up, keeping the back hip forward. Better. Now you can plug it forward more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I wasn't squeezing my glute. I was squeezing
And
my
we're
glute.
squeezing your, so you don't want to squeeze the glute and push forward. That's not going to work. You're going to counter pull opposing muscles. So the hip here has to be releasing. You're going to pull back with the front hip to pull the back hip forward. Not squeeze with glute to push. Right? Hands down. So hips have to cooperate. They're separate, but they cooperate. Good. All right. Bring your blocks back to the middle. Square off the feet. I think we finished the sequence before I just did that. Yeah, we did. Okay. Go ahead and keep heels wide. Let's bring the blocks wider. Bless you. Hands to the floor. Okay. So now we're going to leg, try to stay dropped down into shoulder girdle. Keep heels a little wider than toes. Keep lifting outer feet. Try to start bending knees forward. Don't collapse them in too far. And sitting bones apart, hips sit back. And hips lower, 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 lower. Good. Feel the stretch in the hips. Drop the hips more. Hips should be level with upper body. Stay hands back. Hips down. Bend your knees. There we go. Don't round the back. There we go. Keep the back flat. Yep, sit down. Bring your head up to be in line with the spine. Chin is in, back of the neck long. Keep the ribs dropped. Keep the hips dropped. Should feel outer lower leg firing up as well. Good. Now straighten legs. Think of inner spiraling. See if you can bring elbows to the mat. And you are there. Good job. Drop your chest down into shoulder girdle. Let's bring hands into prayer. The pinky's going to stay long, just like we do on the knees. The thumbs are going to stay long. Interlace the middle 3 fingers. Okay. Push down through the pinky side of the hand just a little bit, and then spread the shoulder blades. Bend your knees to drop your hips. Start dropping head through the arms and try to sit back. If it feels too hard, bring your elbows further forward so they counterbalance you. Then sit back. Yeah, bring your elbows even a little further forward. There we go. Now when you pull back, head through the arms, ribs pulling back, hips sitting deeper. Feel that opening in the low back too?
Yes.
Breathe. Dropping the head through the arms is what helps pull the ribs back, keep the hips released. 2 more breaths. Roll to the outer foot now, opening knees more. Feel how that makes more space in hips?
Oh, yeah.
Roll back to the inner foot, reach, straighten the legs, try to bring sitting bones higher, drop chest deeper. There you go. And then come forward, chest over elbows. Good? You feeling that?
Yes.
One more time. Pick the ribs up into the shoulder girdle, spreading shoulder blades off the back. Then bend knees a little bit, sitting bones are apart. You're sitting into the front of the hips. And then start dropping back, head through the arms. Elbows stay stuck to the mat, back getting longer. Side body getting longer, bend the knees deeper. Nice. Feel that stretch?
Yes.
Good. And bring it back forward. Good?
Good. Yeah.
All right, bring it to that back to your hand. And then heel toe the feet in. All right, so let's just compare that to what we're doing on the mat. And so that's getting really close to being in your headstand or your inversions, right? The head dropping, hips coming over the head is how you're going to come into your inversion. Or if you're on elbows, same thing. You tip forward, hips come overhead.
Right.
Okay, so you're getting that hips coming above ribs feeling, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay. All right, same thing with your handstand too. It's just a higher hips above ribs. All right, let's come over to the mat again now. Come down to the elbows and knees. Let's go back to the way we've started class the last, I don't know, 10, 12 times, last couple months, or last month or so, whatever it's been. Knees wide, feet almost as wide as the mat, knees as wide as the mat, maybe even a touch wider if you're on carpet. Elbows real close together, and long distance between knees and elbows, maybe 2.5, 3 feet. Okay, push into the pinky side of the hand. Interlace middle 3 fingers, not pinkies, not thumbs. Shift your body weight forward so that you're over your elbows. Shoulders are over your elbows. Drop the head. Push down through the hands and push down through elbows to pick your ribs up, spreading the shoulder blades off the back. More. Dome your upper back. More. Good. Now lift low belly a little. Slide shoulders forward, and then like you're folding your collarbone in half, shoulders come forward and together. That's it. Now push more through elbows to open the back more. That's it. Drop head through your arms. Suck the ribs up and back. Start sitting back like that, head dropping back through the arms. Let your pinky side of your hand stay pressed down to keep the side body getting longer. Once you're back pretty far, go ahead and let the hips release. Keep elbows stuck to the mat. Don't let them slide back. Feel that stretch?
Yes.
Coming forward again. Don't come forward yet, actually. Think come up. Think lift ribs. Lift your hips just enough and then drop your head through your arms further. Head is off the mat. The further head comes through the arms, the more the upper ribs can suck up and back. Keep hips released. Don't let them tuck. Then just sit back down, getting longer in the side body. Feel that length?
Yes.
Good job. Okay, now come back forward, pulling back on the mat with your elbows to engage serratus, intercostal. Serratus are on the outside ribs, intercostals inside. Coming all the way forward. Okay? Tuck toes, hop knees in. Let's apply it in your more standard shapes. Dolphin in your down dog. Pick ribs up a little bit, but don't tuck tail. So you can't be closing sitting bones together, squeezing glutes, and tucking forward to pick the ribs up. Instead, let the hips stay soft. Push your elbows to draw ribs up. Let your head drop. Keeping the head drop through the arms. Pressure your pinky side of the hand. Lift low belly a little and slide shoulders forward more. Opening the back. Right? Lats attach into low back, and then they come up and attach underneath the shoulders into the humerus in the upper arm. So if you slide your shoulders forward from the chest, as opposed to getting ribs down and sliding forward from neck, that's worse. Then you're going to open the back. So pushing down through elbows a little to bring ribs up in the shoulder girdle. Once you're up here, elbows hug in to engage your chest. Then slide shoulders a little further forward, lifting belly up and back. Yeah, feel how that helps you dome your back more?
Oh, yes.
Good. Now head should fit easily through your arms, ribs drawing up even more, and start sitting back a little bit like that. Hips should pass your knees, go past your knees digging into the mat, pushing mat forward a little. Keep head dropping through the arms. Don't let it rest on the ground. Keep tucking it through. Good. Feel the back open more. Okay. And let your hips release all the way back. Sitting bones are apart, toes are tucked. Good. And come forward. Okay, so that's the rounded shape. Now drop the chest into the shoulder girdle. Drop back a little ways. Okay. Sitting bones up. Keep pressure in your elbows. So let's keep the ribs back out of the shoulder girdle. So it's just like lifting up, but instead it's going to be diagonally back. You feel that? Okay. Let your tail doesn't tuck, hips stay up. Now keeping the pressure in the hands and elbows, pick your hips up and drop your chest further back by pushing the elbows and hands forward. Head can come through the arms, but don't tuck the chin. Good. Feel the muscles in the upper back?
Yes.
So your upper back bend. Walk your feet in just enough so that your heels are dropping down to the mat instead of toes pushing that back. Okay, drop your right heel more to the mat. Good, your left hip can release and hang, but mostly right heel reaching down. So elbows push forward to bring ribs further back out of the shoulder girdle. Deepening your upper back bend to drop heel toward the mat. And then switch, left heel to the mat. Think of spinning your left heel in, toes out, opening the hip, look under your left armpit. Push through the right elbow even more, hips further back. Yeah, feel that side open?
Oh, yeah.
Switch, dropping right heel toward the mat, turn it in a little, actually do it, turn the heel in more to the midline. Now open your hips, look under the right elbow, lean your hips left a little. Yeah, feel that side open more?
Oh, yeah.
Good, bring it back. Last one, left heel dropping, turn the heel in a little, open up the left side by looking under left armpit, ribs back, come back to the center. Good. Now reach both heels down, but soft bend in the knees. Sitting bones are up and back. Elbows are pushing that forward to help drop ribs back. Slowly bring knees down. Try not to lose any of that ground. Ribs and thighs connect as your knees come down. Yes. Good.
All the way?
Yep, all the way down. And then just sit back, stretching your sides. How are we doing?
Good.
Find your breath. Let your forehead stick to the mat. Bring it back a little further than it was already. Feel how that helps you open your upper back even more. Breathe. Good. And pull back on it now with elbows to come forward. Let's come to hands. Check it out here. Turn the hands out just a little bit. Index fingers are parallel. Inner spiral your arms. Same movement in the serratus. Do those serratus push-ups. Drop the chest down into the shoulder girdle. Keep the head hanging. Let the belly release. The back may be arched, but you're not arcing by flexing. You're just letting it hang into your hip stretch. Then push through the thumb side of the hand. Spread your shoulder blades off the back. Good. Soft the belly up, rounding. Lift your low belly. Tail will turn under. Good. Now keep it like this. Push through the feet. Heels dropping to the mat. Tail is tucked here. Now, to come out of tail being tucked, keep pressure in the thumbs. Bring your ribs back as your hips reach long. Staying long in your side body. Yes. Now hips reach longer. Sitting bones up and back. Bend the knees as much as you need to. There we go. Yeah, feel the difference?
Yes.
Okay, as you come back forward, drop your head through your arms. Drop your head back further, suck the ribs up. Now start coming forward, tail dropping under, ribs sucking up and forward. Doming upper back to come forward, low belly lifting, then head sweeps forward. Good, bring it back, head through arms, dome, upper back. Push into hands, then heels drop, chest back, ribs back, hips reach up and back. You can bend knees if you need to through the hamstrings. Yeah, feel that side body line?
Yes.
One more time. Head through arms helps lift the ribs up in the shoulder girdle. You feel that?
Yes, I do.
Tuck your chin in deeper to start lifting ribs. Good. Then push through the thumb side of the hand to keep ribs up in the shoulder girdle as you come forward, hips dropping forward. And then unround once you're all the way in your plank. Good. Yeah, shoulders are past hands. That's okay though. It's a short plank. Kick your ribs up first, spread the back. Then bring hips back. Reach the hips back. Lengthening in your core. That's much better. Yep. Little soft bend in the knees. Let sitting bones be up. Good. Bring your left leg straight back. Left leg. Good. Keep the right heel dropping for the ground as you open up your hips to face me. Feel that inner foot, inner heel reach down, and your ribs come back. Hands helping steer ribs back in the shoulder girdle. Yes. Drop the heel down. You feel that?
Yeah, I feel
Don't let
it.
your left leg cheat right too far. Good. Okay, square the hip back off, keep the heel down. Keep the heel down, good. Bend your knee in, keep the heel down. Hands are what's keeping the heel down. Bend the knee in, left knee in. Bend the knee, good, I know, a lot of focus, right?
Yeah.
Push into the toes, come high on the toes. Come forward, doming in the upper back, and then drop the knee to the mat. Good, how you doing?
Good.
Okay. Kick the ribs up into the shoulder girdle, spreading the back, low belly lifting. You put a soft bend in elbows, especially if you hyperextend. Pick it up. Pull back with your heel first. Hips reach back next. Hands push ribs back. And then reach the leg back and up. Open up the hip. Drop the heel. That's beautiful. Drop ribs back. Good. Now pick ribs back up. And bring the leg back down. Very nice. How are we doing? Good. Okay. Bring the right leg up and back. Okay, roll the hip open by reaching down through the inner arch of the back foot. Now hands help you push your chest back. Okay, I shouldn't just say hands. It's serratus. You're lifting ribs up out of the shoulder girdle so you can drop back. Good. Heel reaching to the mat. Your bottom leg can bend a little bit. Heel reaching down. Good. Now start dropping the right hip down in line with the left. Bring knee into nose. Try to keep your left heel reaching down. Keep sitting bones back. Good. Push into the toes of the left foot. Come forward, dome the upper back as you come forward. Then drop your dome, drop your knee to the mat. Good. To pick it back up, dome the back, spreading the upper back, pick up the hip, reach the heel to the mat, then sitting bones back, chest back, reach the leg up, keep your left heel reaching down, open up the hip. Good job. Ribs back. Very nice. And bring the foot back down to the mat. Good.
Okay.
Much better. Yep. All right, go ahead and lift your ribs up. Drop the head through the arms, doming the upper back. Come forward like that, pushing the floor away, and step the right foot outside the hand. Wiggle your left foot back a little, so you have a longer stance. Drop the back hip down. Keep the front toes turned out. Good, how we doing? Good. Find your breath. As you exhale, push through the front foot. Drop the back heel back toward the mat. Okay, keeping back heel drop. Start bending elbows toward each other. Bend the front knee. Swim down through that and get long once you're down there. Yep. And then push your hands and foot at the same time to come back up. Good. Dome the upper back, suck the belly up, drop the head. And then flatten it back out again. Start bending front knee. Then bend the elbows as the back heel drops back. Drop all the way down. Good. That's it. And then bring it back up. One more time. Spread shoulder blades. Dome the back. Drop the head. Suck the belly up. Push through the back toes. Good. Drop the heel back. Start dropping chest into shoulder. Bend the front knee. Bend the elbows back like chaturanga. Elbows stay close to you. And then bring elbows straight. Upper body up. Hips dropping. Put the back knee down. Good. See if you can lean forward. Think of putting weight into your left hand, left shoulder forward. Let your left hip hang more. Left side is opening a little more. right arm back to touch your leg. Good, you can reach all the way there, so just bend the back knee up and grab the foot. You got it. Oh, you're right there in front of the hip, contracted. And you bent the back knee, you feel that happen?
Yes, I felt it.
Okay, so grab 2 blocks. I don't know if you're not trusting that front hand. Come on to the elbow. Left elbow. Okay, drop your left hip to the mat. Yeah, feel that psoas stretch?
No, yeah.
Okay, good. Go ahead and push the right knee away a little bit with your right hand. That's it. Now pull back on your blocks to bring your hip forward. See how that brings you to the quad of the back leg? Then start bending knee. Keep it on your quad instead of your kneecap. Good. Stay forward. That's better though.
It is. I feel it better.
Now push through the elbow to bring the body back to the leg. That's much better. Good though. You feel the difference?
Yes.
Good. Bring it down. Yeah, get rid of your blocks.
Well, I'm happy with that because I feel it.
Yeah.
Number one, I felt what I did
Right.
without them.
If your hip contracts the front of the hip, then the hamstring pulls against that, and it's like they're repelling each other. The hip's going back, pushing the foot down. Just gotta go drop it forward. Okay, let's do the one where you found this before. Drop hips back, drop head down, releasing, low belly sucking back. Then drop your left hip back further than the right. Left hip back, good. Walk your hands left towards me. Keep that left hip dropping back. Right toes turn out to the right. Yeah, feel that stretch in your groin a little too?
Oh, yes.
Good. Okay. Bring hands back forward. Slide your foot forward and off to the right. Only as much to the right as you need to drop your left hip down toward the mat. And then walk elbows down and left until you can come all the way down.
Like this.
Front of your left hip has to be touching down on the mat. So you gotta have contact here. This leg can be as far forward as your stretch allows. If you have a full Hanuman, it can be pretty far forward. Okay? Now you're going to keep your elbows framing the chest. They're pretty close to the chest line. Hands in prayer. Press down through elbows a little. Inner spiral both legs into rolling in. And then pull back with elbows. Shoulders lean a little forward. Left hip stays stuck to the mat. God, that pulls you on your psoas.
Yes.
Good. Do it again. Press down through elbows. Inner spiral legs. Lift low belly a little. And lean forward, elbows pulling back, pulling you out of the psoas. Good. Now bring your left elbow right under your left shoulder. Keep leaning forward like that. Okay? Now bend the back knee without using the hip. Let your foot kind of fall over to the right. Yeah. Feel how you're totally releasing your quad?
Yes.
Let it go. Do it again. Keep that pulling back. That psoas long, hip heavy. And then just bend the knee. Let it flop forward. And you can reach it. Good. Feel the difference?
Yes.
Come to the top of the foot, pull it all the way to the buttocks if you've got that. Good. You can roll that shoulder down, elbow still pulling back, or if it's more comfortable, you can sweep elbow out, put your forehead on your hand. Okay, Tatum, if you want a bigger stretch, right elbow into the mat, reach back with your left hand. You don't care? Too much stretch? Too much stretch. She patented that one. All right, you good?
I'm good.
Okay. One shoulder stretch here. Left hand, you're going to keep the hand in the mat. Sweep your elbow as far forward as you can, keeping the hand close to you. Got your right hand traps your left hand. Left elbow is really forward, trying to open the shoulder blade. Good. Keep your right elbow digging into the mat, pushing ribs left. Pick them up and push them further left on the mat. That's it. And then lay your head down on the wrist or forearm of that left hand. Yeah. Feel that stretch?
Oh, yeah.
Keep right elbow softly pushing ribs left. See if your left shoulder can be mobile. Try to bring it to your ear a little, and then maybe a little bit away. That's a tiny movement. It may be a thought for the movement. Keep dumping the front of your left hip heavier into the mat. Inner spiral in the leg. Maybe the right pinky toe can lift a little. Breathe. Keep pressure in the right elbow. Soften your left hip. One more breath. Good. Bring the head back up. Bring the elbow back in. How are we doing?
Good.
Okay, bring your hands under you. And then you can either tuck toes and pull straight back to your down dog, or you can bend the back knee and pull back underneath. Yeah. And then either way, we're going to come to down dog. So tuck your back toes when you're there and bring it up. Good job. Okay. Hands flat, Spread the metacarpals in the hands out, the little bones in the hands really wide. Feel that thumb side of your hand especially. Don't let any fingers bubble. And then press through right where the thumb meets the wrist. You should feel your chest engage a little more. Drop your head through your arms. Good. Feel that length in your sides?
Yes.
Now sitting bones reach up and back. Yeah, that length allows you that freedom of movement. Feel that?
Yes.
Keep heels dropping. Let your knees bend a little bit if you need to. Try to drop into a bigger upper back bend. Ribs are open here. Drop the head. Pick it back up. Ribs come back in line with the shoulders. Unless you have real tight hips and shoulders, then you're already up here. So you're just trying to drop back. Okay, good. Let's bring your left leg up and back. Open up the hip. Drop the ribs back for now. Good. Now start coming forward. Bring your ribs up in your shoulder girdle. It's hard with the leg up. Yeah, you feel that?
Yes.
Now as the leg comes forward, keep ribs high. Bend the knee. Step outside the hand, keeping the domed upper back, and you've got room to step.
Yes.
Yeah, you feel that? Keep the toes turned out. Drop the back hip down, keeping the front, or the back hip long and the back leg fairly straight. The knee can be a little soft, so your quad's not too flexed. Toes are real strong. The weight of the body feels like it's driving the foot straight down into the mat. Push through the front foot to bring your hips back. You can keep the knee a little bent, spread the shoulder blades, drop the head, suck the belly up, inhale. As you exhale, drop chest into shoulder girdle, drop your back hip forward, bend the front knee, and just drop the hips down, keeping arms straight. Good. Yep, just stretching the hip. Do it again. Push through the front foot, hips go back. Push through the thumb side of the hand, spread shoulder blades. If that's hard to do, your head's probably lifting. Drop your head, it'll get a lot easier. Inner spiral arms too if you're stuck. Make biceps face in. That'll also help you open the back. Okay, drop the chest back down. This time, drop the back heel down. Start bending front knee and bend elbows back. Trying to drop straight down like chaturanga. Good. And then push your hands and foot at the same time to bring it up. Drop your head back through your arms to suck ribs up. Open the upper back. Push through thumbs. And then flatten it back out. Drop chest down. Don't lift head up. Drop chest down into shoulder girdle. Bend the front knee. Reach the back heel back. Bend the front elbows straight down. Good job getting in there deeper. You feel that?
Yes.
Push through. Out hands and foot at the same time. Drop head through arms, sucking ribs up. So a lot of it is making space in your core. Now don't put head up to come down. Drop chest down into shoulder girdle. Release some of the pressure in hands. Then heel drops back. Then bend front knee, bend front elbows back. Or bend elbows back. Yep, so you fit in there deeper?
Yeah.
Good job. And bring it back up. Good. Now drop the back hip down. Go ahead and put the back knee on the mat. How are we doing?
Good.
Good? No worries? Yep, you can roll over the toes. Put that right hand right under the shoulder. You can put a soft pin in the elbow if you want to unlock it. Let your right hip and ribs hang out of that shoulder blade. So that shoulder blade is going to get driven up the rib cage as ribs hang down because your hand is holding your weight. Feel that?
Yes.
Good. Okay? Now see if you can lean forward, shoulder passing the hand, elongating this just like we do when we lay on this hip. But now instead of the hip touching the mat and getting stuck, the quad is touching the mat and getting stuck. Feel that?
Yes.
Keep that forward pull, open the chest. Doesn't change the forward pull, reach back. Your hand is back far enough it should touch your foot, as long as your hip doesn't pull back.
Right.
So lean into the hand, bend the knee, leaning forward. You got it, you got it, you got it, you almost got it. You almost got it, and you have it.
Killing.
Yeah. Don't kill yourself.
But
you feel good.
I didn't feel so much of this, just a lot of tightness in my quad.
Right, so that's better. You're still
But
sitting
that's
in
much
the
better.
stretch. Yeah, at some point, if it's too tight, it's too tight.
Right.
I mean, yeah. But gripping
But
it,
at least, yes.
at least learning the coordination of letting go is yeah, really good. All right, go ahead and drop the hips back, pushing through hands. Keep that pressure through the thumb knuckle and index knuckle. Spread your shoulder blades off the back. Let your right hip drop back, opening the hips a little. So think of that outer spiral in the right femur, the right upper leg, and the inner spiral in the left. Then walk your hands over to the right. It'll get easier. Yeah, good. Feel that more?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Feel that groin stretch. So the leg's going to roll in a little like it's inner spiraling, but don't let the foot sickle. Keep the foot turned out. There's the spreading toes even. You got your yogi toes going. third arch across the middle of the foot. Okay. All right, walk the hands back forward again. Okay, and then slide that foot forward. When you come down, you can take this foot as wide as you need to, but don't do it first. You don't know how wide you need it until you start walking forward to put the hip down. If you're really deep in your Hanuman, you can be real close. Okay, and then you walk elbows to the mat. The right frontal hip bone, that front of the pelvis, has to touch down to the mat. That's what gets anchored. Yeah, you feel that?
Yes.
Okay. Both legs inner spiral, but don't let this foot sickle in. The leg rolls in, the big toe still reaching. Okay. Elbows are right near chest, kind of framing the chest. Hands are in a prayer shape. You're going to very softly push down through elbows. Don't suck the hip up and use hips. Then pull back on the mat with elbows, shoulders leaning forward, pulling your ribs out of that hip, staying stuck to the mat. Feel it?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Push down through elbows a little, drop the head, making space in the back, inhale. As you exhale, inner spiral both legs, feel a tiny bit of low belly. Pull back on elbows, hips staying stuck, helps pull ribs out of the mat. If you need more space, bring elbows further forward. Do it again, press down to the mat, pull back with elbows, hips staying stuck to the mat. If elbows are too far forward, you can't pull back. You feel it?
Right, yes.
Good, so you gotta find back far enough so shoulders can get a little past them, but forward far enough so that you're getting your full pull there. Okay, one more time, push down through elbows to open and dome, upper back a little, drop head, inhale, inner spiral legs, then drop the right hip into the mat heavy, pull back with elbows to bring ribs out of hip. Good, keep that pulling back, put your right elbow right under your right shoulder if it's not already, so the upper arm, humerus is parallel to the wall in front of you. And then go ahead and bring your arm back, see how far back you can reach, opening chest. Yeah, without lifting hip, feel that?
Yes.
Now when you bend the knee, the foot's going to go over to the left and stay soft. Yep, then it pops right up to your hand. Feel the difference? No struggle. When you struggle, you're flexing what you're trying to stretch, which is always that. Okay, and then you can pull that foot into tail, drop shoulder forward, the other shoulder can pull, or elbow can pull back a little. You can bring the elbow wide and drop head into hand if you want, although then you lose some of that leverage to pull back.
Right.
So it just depends on how tight you are. If all you're trying to do is release, this is a good place to go to, elbow reaching forward. Yeah, you feel that? Just put space in your side. And then if you do want to go deeper, since I showed it on the other side, left elbow would come down, right hand would reach back, you can even get on top of it, and you pull the foot down toward that. Okay. All right, so let's come out of it, or no, shoulder stretch first. Gonna let go of that foot, let it drop. Your right hand comes in, elbow sweeps forward. So you're trying to bring the elbow way past the hand, and then the hand stays stuck to the mat, the left hand traps it there. The further forward and a little left you can get that right elbow, the more length you're gonna get to the side. Left hand traps right, left elbow to the mat. Push your ribs further right. Actually, pick them up and bring them right. Okay? And then see if you can lay the head down on the forearm or the wrist of the right hand. Keep the right hip dumped into the mat heavy. Left sitting bone can fly. I don't care if it's in the air. Okay? Find a little bit of breath here. Inhale. As you exhale, try to release hips, shoulders. Maybe you can find some movement in the shoulder, bring it to the ear, and then drop it away a little bit. Ribs can go further right. Keep moving the breath. Try to feel ribs expand as you inhale, and then as you exhale, just soften. Feel ribs recoil a little. One more. Exhale. Good. Bring the head up. Good. Bring the elbow back in. How are we doing? Good. Lift shoulder. Hands come back. Tuck back toes and either pull back into your down dog straight away or bend the back knee and pull back. Then tuck toes and come up. However you want to get there. And then just pedal the feet out. Drop the head back through the arms. Good. Okay, let's come forward. Come down to the knees. Good. Step your right foot forward outside the hands. Tense your fingers. Good. And then you're going to bring your foot right behind the right hand. And you should still have a lot of distance between that back knee and the front foot. toe heel the foot across. Toes come first, as far over as they can. Grab the mat, then heel swings way across. Drop the knee open, hip back as heel comes across and down. Then toes shoulder to come across one more time. Heel swings across. Okay, now, you're going to point the toes, try to bring the top of the foot toward the mat. Okay, so you're trying to put the top of the foot into the mat. Knee comes forward and down. Hands flat. Good. So you got your pigeon foot set up. Now, while your foot's forward here, keep the ankle straight. Don't let the foot flex right now. Keep the foot long. Keep the knee forward. Keep your heel forward. And then tucking back toes, find a plank position on the left side. Good. Hands right under shoulders. Pop the front knee back, keeping the foot into the mat. Good. Inner spiral arms. Soft bend in elbows. Pick your ribs up into the shoulder girdle. Drop the head. Push through right knee a little to lift your low belly more. Tail under. No squeezing glutes. You almost can't here. And then pubic bone back, hips back, sit down, and do your stretch a little deeper. Do that again. So just thinking cat-cow here. Lean forward first. Inner spiral arms. Drop your head, suck ribs up, middle abs up. Push through the front knee to lift your belly out of the front hip. Even the stretching side. Now, roll over your back toes if you can. Top of the foot into the mat. Good. All the way, top of the foot down. So wiggle it back a little bit. It's too far forward. Good. Now roll your left hip into the right hip. So you're trying to face right. Good, but keep hips right. There we go. Feel that stretch? Mm-hmm. Roll it back open so your hips are square. Do it again. Roll left frontal hip into right groin and lean right with the hip. Yep. And then re-square. Roll back over the toes. Roll it back. Try to put that knee as far back on the mat and quad as far back on the mat as you can. Come down to your elbows. Good job. Tuck the back toes, or roll over the back toes. Good. Soft pressure in your elbows to pick your ribs up, but then let the belly spill. Drop the head. Inhale in here. As you exhale, think of dropping ribs a little deeper into the shoulder girdle, dropping belly toward the mat first. Good. Now on your next breath, elbows push the mat forward. Try to roll your right hip under toward the mat a little bit more. Good. Then lift your low belly up. Now bring it over to the left. Ribs go left. Shoulders go left. Try to keep the right hip right. Right shoulder dropping across. Right elbow. Plugging that right knee back to the right. Good. Feel like you're keeping the hip there, but bringing the ribs away. Breathe. Bring it back to the right with the ribs and shoulders. Let that right hip roll under you a little bit more. Push your elbows to lift your low belly. Then lengthen ribs forward and down right there above the right hip. Let your left hip roll toward the mat now. Good. Feel that little bit deeper stretch. Okay. Push your elbows. Right hip rolls under. Okay, let's do the other one. Lift your low belly. Bring shoulders and ribs over to the left. Right elbow plugs the right knee back. Right shoulder coming across. Trying to keep the hip there, but bring ribs away. Right shoulder really coming across. Feel that length in the hip? Yes. Bring your right arm over to the left. Right elbow lands right next to left hand. Left hand turns out a little further, so right elbow can come a little further across. Now just push down through left elbow to draw ribs up a little. Keep your right shoulder released and dropping. Inhale. Exhale, pull back on the mat with that left elbow, just like we did earlier, to drop the hips forward, ribs forward, out of that hip. Feel that length?
Oh, sure.
One more time. Push down through left elbow to bring ribs up. Keep right shoulder released. Pull back with left elbow on the mat. Drop your hips and ribs. Yeah. Feel that open more. Good. Bring elbows over further to the left if you can. Try to put the right elbow into the right foot. Not happening? We're back. Keep walking that left leg back. Almost there. Put your left elbow into the foot. Okay. And then just pull back on elbows, leaning across, plugging the leg back. Yeah. Feel that stretch?
Oh, sure.
Breathe. A lot of leverage from elbow. And bring it back. Alright, that's how we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring your right hand right in front of the knee. Bring your left hip toward the mat more, leaning left. You can bring your left leg wider if it helps. Yeah, left leg a little wider on the mat. There we go. Yeah. Push down through the right hand to lift your ribs up. Push down a little through left hand, left elbow to suck the belly back. Right hip rolls to the mat a little bit. Got it? And then drop your left hip forward and down. Good. Yeah, feel that stretch deepen? Let's add breath. Push through the left elbow to bring your ribs up, back, and right. Push through right hand. Pick your right ribs up out of that hip. Yes. Inhale in. Exhale, lengthen forward and down toward the left hip. Yeah, feel the difference? Yeah. One more time. Ribs go up, back, and right. Right hand then pushes to help you lift the right ribs up out of that right pelvic bowl. Inhale in. Exhale. Release toward your left hip. Good job. Okay, same thing we did earlier. Left elbow forward, pulling back on the mat to bring you forward toward your left frontal hip. Reach your arm back. Okay, try to bend the leg and see if you can get the hand to foot. Oh, you got it. Good. Hand over the toes. Pull your foot toward your glutes. Good job. Roll your right shoulder down. That's it. Very nice.
Wow.
You got it.
You got me there.
Breathe. If you wanted to go deeper, you can go the other way as always. You bring that foot down. All right, let it go. Very nice. Bring it back to hands. Good. Sit onto the right hip. Bring the leg around. How are we doing? Okay, soles of the feet together like Baddha Konasana. Hands to ankles. Elbows to the inside of the shins like you're pushing out for now, not pulling back yet. Feet are a good 2 feet, 2.5 feet in front of your pelvic or your pubis bone. Okay? Keep the elbows pushing out. Shoulders then roll up and forward, trying to bring shoulder blades up the back. Suck your low belly back. Drop your head. You're purposely rounding, opening knees, making space in front of the hips. You feel that? Hands can pull back on ankles as elbows push out on legs. Feel that opposition helping you open hips. Okay? Now, go ahead and lean forward, pulling back on feet, feet pulling back on mat. Low belly staying engaged, elbows pushing back and out, shoulders coming forward. Good. If you can't get shoulders past elbows, this isn't the best grip, then you come to the front of the shins and find your leverage by pulling back. Good. There you go. Feel the difference?
Better, yeah.
Yeah. Pull back with feet, open toes. Let your shoulders drop forward and hips release. Notice the difference between the hips. And then roll back up. Okay, let's go to the second side. Bring your right leg back. You're just going to come and do it a different way. Same exercise. Left leg across. One straight line from the big toe to the knee. So don't flex this foot. Everybody who flexes this foot ends up sickling this foot, which breaks the line you're trying to stretch. That inner foot's not long anymore. So keep inner foot long. And then you want to feel like your pinky side of your foot's grabbing the mat and pulling back to bring the heel forward. Yeah, feel that heel forward action. Feel that?
Yes.
So it's still ball of the foot reaching, heel forward. It's still a floin. Okay, but it's not a full flex. Okay? Keeping that, come forward. Elbow in front of the knee, other elbow in front of the foot. Good. Okay? Now see if you can start by dropping the chest forward. This is the baby version of that big pigeon. Feel that? Easy, right? Yeah. Okay, let's go back into the full stretch. Lean onto your left elbow, lean onto your left hip, bring your left hip over to the left side of the mat a little bit. Okay, work your right leg back, use the toe to kind of work it back, and over to the left side of the mat. Keep this foot forward. Now you're going to tuck toes, roll back onto your right toes. Yep, bring it to your hand, come up into your plank. Just another way to get into it. Good, you're deeper there.
Down deep.
Drop that hip forward, keep the heel forward on the mat. That's it. Okay, inner spiral arms, pick ribs up, pick low belly up, push into that left knee as you lift the low belly. And then pubic bone back, hips back, drop the belly to the floor. Good, feel the difference? Come up, push into hands, inner spiral arms, shoulders sliding forward, lift your low belly, push into the left knee, don't let that die just because it's a stretching leg. Okay, lifting low belly, drop head, see if you can roll over the back toes. If you're too far forward, wiggle the foot back first, then roll over the toes. Right hip rolls in toward left groin. Stay left, don't lean right, stay left. It's the left hip we're stretching.
Oh, right.
And then roll it up. One more time, roll the right hip in like you're going to put the right frontal hip into the left groin. Roll it up. Come over the back toes, bring it all the way back. Hard as you can. Top of the foot in the mat. Elbows down. How we doing? So if you have the foot all the way forward, the toes can hook around the elbow. Well, not quite there, but you're getting up there. Now your left elbow's in place right in front of the left
Yeah.
knee, which is good. That's an important one. Okay, soft pressure down in your elbows to dome the back. Let the head drop. Start pulling back on the mat to let the back hip drop forward. Right hip forward. Yeah. Feel how that deepens and stretch. Okay, now let your ribs drop back down. Let it sink into shoulder girdle. There we go, yeah. Without pulling back. Just sink straight down. Feel the difference?
Yes.
Okay, now pushing the elbows. Roll towards your left hip a little. Let the left hip roll under. Lift your low belly a touch, doming the head. Now pull ribs and shoulders over to the right. That left elbow. Pushing left knee back. Left shoulder coming across. Right hip coming toward the mat. Feel that stretch? Body goes right. Yeah. There you go. Right hip drop into the mat. That's it. Yes. Okay. Bring it back to the left. Pushing through your elbows so your left hip can roll under a little bit. Yeah, everybody wants to dump that hip forward and just bring it with ribs. Keep the left hip rolled under. Now lift low belly. Now take it across to right, staying back there, so the left hip will stay back. Left elbow plugging hip back. Yeah, feel how the hip stays put more?
Yes.
If your hip just rolls up and over and dumps forward, they just stay stuck together. Okay, one more time. Roll the hip under you. Good, that's it. Your hip just came toward the floor. Now lift low belly. Now use low belly to come away from the front of the hip. Bring it across to the right. Elbows steer your body over. Don't use the hips. They're busy. Yeah, that's better. Feel the difference?
Yes.
Your elbows feel like they're shifting the mat left.
Yes.
Plugging the hip back. If you're trying to move from the hips, it doesn't work. Hips are busy. They should be softening and stretching. Good. Use your upper body to guide. Use your elbows to guide your upper body back. Let your hip roll under. Lift low belly a touch, but that's it. Then as your upper body guides, elbows pushing left or pulling left, ribs and shoulders going right, your low belly softly draws out the front of that hip. Yeah, away from the hip. Good. Bring your left elbow across to where your right hand is. Turn your right hand out a little further. Okay, now don't let that shoulder reach so hard. Let the shoulder soften. Drop the head. Press down through your right elbow to pick your ribs up. Keep your left arm draped to the ground. Yeah, now that opens you more.
Sure.
Pull back with right elbow, not left, and drop right hip toward the mat. That's it. Do it again. Push down with right elbow. Lift low belly a little. Let that left arm drape. Drop the head. Inhale. Exhale, pulling back with right elbow. Roll your right hip to the mat. Release the left hip. Yeah, getting deeper. Very good. Let's bring it over further to the right. See how far you can go. So you can get one of your elbows into the ball of the foot, either the right, that would be easier, and then pull back, or the left. You can get your left there, either one. Okay, then elbows dig into mat, pull back on the foot and on the mat to bring your body forward. That plugs the knee, the hip back. Yeah, feel how you're pulling ribs and hip apart. Good. Keep your right hip rolling into the mat. Drop the head, breathe. You can get all the way to left elbow, you can come into prayer and twist a little. Alright, good. From here, come out of it, bring the elbows forward. And then bring your left hand right in front of the left knee. Right elbow staying down. Think of twisting. Again, you're steering the upper body with elbow with hand. So you're going to twist open to face left. Your right shoulder could come forward a little. Push down and right elbow to suck the belly up. Left hip comes toward the mat. Then push down with left hand. Pick your left ribs up higher. Good. And then come forward and down onto the right hand. Do it again. Push down through right elbow. Right shoulder blade comes a little down. Pushing ribs up and left. Left hand pushing, twisting. You drop the head. Breathe. As you exhale, lift the core a little. And then come forward and down into that right hip. Left hand plugging left hip back. Good. How you doing? Good. Keep pulling back on that right elbow, dropping right hip toward the mat. Reach your arm back, opening the chest. Keep pulling back on the hip. Bend the knee. See if your hand can catch the foot. You got it. Very nice. Hand comes to the top of the foot and pull. Good. Very nice. Keep rolling your left hip toward the ground and drop left shoulder down. Very good. Good job. Okay, so that's your segue to start moving toward your king pigeon eventually. Okay. We'll let it go. Good. Lean onto the left hip and bring the leg around. Good. How are we doing? Good. Really good. Grab your, you want me to use that? Alright, we'll use that. We got a couple minutes, we'll use that. Grab your orange bolster and grab your strap. First, pull orange bolster under the legs. people have been having trouble rolling in the front of sitting bones in a split. So I want your legs as wide as your bolster, okay? And then hands hold on to your bolster. Sitting bones are apart. You can manually spread them if you want. Good. Okay, hands hold in front of your bolster. Now, let your low back release. Low belly rolls your sitting bones under. Yeah, feel that?
Yes.
Elbows hug in a little. Pull back on the bolster with hands and with the back muscles. Shoulder blades are going to come together. Roll all the way to the front of the sitting bones. Roll and pelvis pull forward. Yeah, feel that? Do the same in your split. Now let it go. Roll the low belly back. Release. Good. Yeah, feel the difference? This is just giving you leverage. Roll forward.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. You would do the same in your split. And then roll back. You just have nothing to hold on to.
Right.
One more time. Roll forward. If that's easy enough, bring your elbows. Do it. Be great if it's super long, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, pull back with elbows. Bring your edges as far forward as you can. You can open the legs. Turn them out into your split a little if you want. Good. And then roll it up. Good. Feel that?
I can feel it.
One more. Bring your feet into Baddha Konasana. Hips back. Another long one. Maybe 2 feet. Hold on to your little handle, your little strap where you can hold the corners. Elbows pin shins. And then same thing. You're going to pull back. Actually, let's start with hands in the front. So it really is the same. Pull back, elbows pinning shins. Shoulders pulling back to roll you to the front of the sit bones. Feel that?
Yes.
Same idea. Low belly drawing back, round you. Drop the head. And think of lengthening forward. Pull back with the back muscles, the elbows as straight as two. And hips come forward. Good. If you can go further, you can bring the arms to the front. Ball on the chest. Do it. You got it. That's a great stretch. Toes open to activate hips more. And then roll it up. Good. Feel it?
Yeah.
Alright, get rid of your bolster for the moment. And you have those legs to use the strap. So we'll use it to get to our ending position. Alright, put the strap around your feet. Line it up. Reach up high on the strap. Not too high, don't go crazy, but you're going to probably be about 6 to 8 inches away from the feet. This is the heavy duty strap, right? So we're going to put weight into it. We're not trying to pull and weight lift with it. We're trying to let it hold up some of our body weight, right?
Right.
So that's why you're reaching forward. Squeeze with the pinky side of the hand. Start leaning back. Yep, just lean. Let it take some of your weight. Then suck your low belly in to turn your tail under. Your tailbone should push the mat forward. Drop your head in, round the spine first. Suck the belly back. Yep, feel your low belly pull back more. Let your shoulder blades get pulled and spread off the back. And then low belly drawing, head still dropped in. Keep rolling back slowly. So your low back touches down. So soft bend in your knees at that point, low belly drawing. And then roll down one vertebrae at a time. Once you're all the way down, outer spiral, arms, palms face out. Ribs open, shoulder blades pulling together. Good job. Then inner spiral, roll shoulders in. Back of the hands facing each other on tops of the thighs. That's it. Chin to the chest. Suck your belly back, ribs back, but baby bend your knees so you can use them. Okay, come up one more vertebrae, letting these pull you forward. You're trying to pull your low belly back more. Good, feel it up?
Yes.
Okay. One more vertebrae, lift hands a touch, to lift the shoulders a touch. Suck the belly back a little deeper, chin in. One more vertebrae. Good, let your back open more.
Yes.
One more vertebrae. Good, keep it covered, low belly drawing. Head dropping into you. Shoulders lift to open the back muscle more. Your shoulder blades sliding up opens your back more. You feel that?
Oh, yeah.
It's not from neck, it's from chest that you're doing now. Good, rolling forward. Once you're all the way forward, now roll up onto the sitting bones. Tailbone is going to be off the ground, sitting bones open. Okay? Now, outer spiral, so palms face the ceiling, elbows hug in. Use your back muscles to draw the chest forward, shoulder blades coming together behind ribs. Bend your knees a little so sitting bones can go back. Yeah, you feel that? Keep coming forward just like you were with your bolster. If your ribs can touch thighs, you can straighten. Good. And then if you want to round, you're off the shoulders. Last one, bring it back up. lean a little bit into your strap. Let your shoulder blades slide apart. Drop the head, lift your shoulders up from chest, collarbone folding in half. Suck your low belly back, sitting bones roll under until you don't listen and roll anymore. You only feel tailbone. Yep, low belly sucking back. Slowly, now open the back more. Before your low back touches, shoulders lift from chest, chin in. Soft bend in your knees. Heels are reaching away, toes open. Low belly draws out in front of the hips. You feel that?
Yes, I do.
Then let your low back start coming. Good. And the next vertebrae. And slowly rolling all the way back. Once you're all the way down, hands turn out, shoulders open, shoulder blades lift ribs. Low belly still drops. And then shoulders roll forward, arms inner spiral. Back of the hands are on top of the legs and collarbone folding up. Yep. Shin in. Keep collarbone folding up and shoulders coming up. Really making a half pipe out of the body. Shin in. Okay, low belly drawing. Let it come up a little. Lift from the triceps and the shoulders and the chest. And then let your low belly suck back. Good. Feel that rounding?
Yes.
Come a little further. Put a baby bend in your knees if you feel any tension in head. Keep your head dropping in. Arm and vertebrae coming up.
That is great.
Yeah. Once you're all the way up, turn the hands out. Shoulder blades pull together. Come to the front of your sitting bones. Tailbone's off the mat at this point. Sitting bones are apart. You can bend the knees as much as you need to. Bring your floating ribs far forward on the thighs. Yep. And then you can drop and great forward. Or you can stay there, whatever you want. The first one lengthens out of your low back more. Okay, and roll it back up. Okay, when you let go, you'll notice hands a little bit. They were working. Let's get rid of the strap. And just flip your fingers backwards, lay out in front. You don't let shoulders pop up. Hands are pretty far forward. So just catching the finger in the mat and bending fingers back. And then sit a little weight into that stretch. Yeah, that's a good counter stretch for the hands. You can roll further down through it if you've got that. And then roll back, bending elbows. Feel that? That's good, right? Roll through the hand further. Roll back. If you need less of a stretch, just bring hands back. And you gotta roll further. Roll back. Come to knuckles for a minute. Alright, let's go ahead and bring your hips forward. Bring your bolster behind you. We'll just lay over it for a second before you. And here, bring your sacrum against it, lay it all the way back. So it's pretty high up under the upper body. Okay. From here, bring the arms up, chin down, one leg at a time. And we'll do that happy baby we ended with, but not hands on top of the feet unless you want that. Just bring hands under heels, underneath the legs, cupping heels. Make sure you're actually holding heels, not feet. Okay, then turn feet out, toes open a little, but have heels point up, so your palm really cups that. Then let your hips go. You're going to bend elbows a little bit, open elbows into the backs of the legs. If your feet want to drop forward, don't bring them up by pulling them with hips. Use your hands to pull the feet up. Your upper body is moving your low body for you. Okay? If you're real loose, let them drop open. Chin down, neck long, inhale. Drop the right leg forward. Keep the bicep holding. As this heel pushes up into the hand, your bicep pulls down. Then reach the right leg forward, right arm back. Good. Feel that's a handle? Yes. Okay. Keep reaching through that right side. Bring it back in. Arm comes inside the leg, underneath the heel, wrapping around. Foot turns out to the side, heel up into palm, palm down into heel. Bicep bending to pull down, elbow pushing out. Bring your left leg forward. Don't lose this grip. If you can only go to here, fine. Let it be there, and then just start reaching away from there. The more you pull on this, the more you'll feel the other leg pop up. That's good. You're taking some weight out of this so that it can release forward. Elbow open. Yeah, feel how you can push the elbow out to the side if you keep it bending. Yes. Drop the arm back. Got it. The more you push that elbow out and roll the shoulder a little forward, the more you'll start making space in the right side too. Feel that?
Yes.
Breathe. Good. And then bring left arm up, let your ribs settle into the mat. And bring it up. There it is.
Go ahead and bring your hands to the kneecaps. Let your lower body rest into your upper body. So if I were to let go, the feet would drop. Holding the patella, all 5 fingers together and facing in. And then let my low body rest into upper body. Shoulders getting pulled down away from ears. Outer spiral arms. Now open the shoulders as you inhale, let your ribs pop up. And then as you exhale, ribs dropping, shoulders roll forward, arms inner spiral, and hips get to drop a little further into hands. Let the hips open, feet are soft. Do it again. Outer spiral arms, shoulders roll back, ribs open, inhale. Chin down. Exhale, roll the shoulders forward. Let the hips release deep. And bring it in with the strength of the arms. Do it one bit at a time to the mat. How are we doing? Good. Push bolster to the tip of the tailbone. It's barely under your tailbone, letting that lumbar spine round. Bring the legs in. Knees are aimed out. Elbows pull out a little to the side on the knees. Hands hold the knees. Right arm straightens, pulling the right leg out to the right. Let your right foot dangle out a little ways so the shin is parallel to the side of your mat. Left hand keeps your left leg left. Low body's released. Low belly pulls across to the left. Right shoulder dropping as far as you can. Feel that a little in your outer hip, the crease of the hip. Yes. Good. With the strength of the arm, the bicep, bring the leg back. Just to rest into your groin stretch here. Elbows out. Keep the right elbow out, keeping the right leg. Drop left knee forward and open. Left foot dangling out. Left hand holding patella. Low belly drawing across to the right. Let that left foot drop. That makes an inner spiral, which pushes stretch in the hip. Feel that? And bring it back with the strength of the arm. Okay? Push your bolster all the way down to calves. Calves on the bolster. Let your low body release. Just try to feel some of that space we made in hips. Didn't do a lot with shoulders today. We'll do that next time. Palms facing up. Let's take one breath here. Reach the arms up. Once your arms are right above the joint, let your shoulders release. Let your shoulders literally plop down into the mat. Feel the shoulders heavy. Arms are kind of dangling. Chin down. And keep feeling the shoulder blades in the mat as you drop arms back. Ribs get to open a little more. Feel like that little sort of crowbar sensation, like shoulder blades dug in and ribs come up and over. Oh, yeah. Feel that a little bit. Chin down. Inhale. And then exhale. Find whatever's comfortable for your resting pose. If you want to leave arms up and open, you can. If you want to bring your hands down, so palms face up, you can do that. Whatever works. Find your breath. Take a long but soft breath in. As you exhale, let your low belly sink. And just feel your ribs naturally recoil, softening down into each other and into the earth. Feel the back ribs too as you inhale. Exhale, feeling back ribs get a little heavier. Try to let all the tension go out of the facial muscles and the muscles in the head and neck. Let your eyes roll back into the back of the head, in the middle of the forehead where the third eye is. I feel the spreading across the brow, across the bridge of the nose, across the base of the tongue where tongue attaches into the head. And finally feel the spreading across the jawline and base of the skull from ear to ear.